This is Renee and welcome to my own little world. It is already time for the last plan with me of this year, but first let me show you a flip through of November. I have something to confess. I only filled out my habit tracker before this video. I haven't really filled it in daily, so I haven't really used it, but this is what it looks like. And this is my monthly overview. I still really like the look of it. It's very practical. And this is my playlist. I finally got into Taeyeon and NCT, to my friend Danny's excitement. And if you want to listen to the songs of this month, I made a playlist on Spotify and it's down in the description. And these are my weekly overviews. I still really like how they look. They're pretty minimalistic, which is not my style, of course, but I still really like how they look, and yeah, I'm still very happy with them. And then on to my habit tracker for December. I already pre-made some hand lettering on black Bulletjournal paper, and I used these two pens for it. And I'm also going to be using my Posca pen and of course my Pilot G2 that I always use. For this theme, I wanted to go with kind of a vintage December vintage Christmas theme. So I used basically the same things that I used for my personal journal for the last 3 months. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend. But I had these kind of templates that you only have to like push out. They're already kind of pre-cut, and I bought them like as a pad of Christmas inspired things, and I decided to use them for this bullet journal theme because they were very suitable and they reminded me of kind of a vintage Christmas. And for my monthly overview, I'm getting out my cutting board because I had this idea in mind to make a monthly overview in kind of an advent calendar style. So that's what I did. And it was a very hard job and tedious job to kind of cut out all of the little doors, but it was also kind of fun because, like, when do you ever do this? You don't do this a lot. So it was new and exciting, and it was kind of this whole monthly overview was kind of a whole big experiment for me, so I wasn't even sure whether it would look great or how it was going to turn out, but I really had a lot of fun making this. And here I glue them on. I do have to say that my pages got a lot thicker, but I was like mentally prepared for that, so it wasn't a big of a deal for me. And I know that an advent calendar only goes to like day 24 or Christmas even, but I wanted to include the last week as well. I didn't want that week to be left out. And then it's time to decorate a bit. And for the numbers, I decided to go with the same kind of style that I did for the other hand lettering, but with the black as kind of a shadow. And this is the finished result. Then onto my playlist. I did the same playlist for like every month, but I'm still going to show you the process for one last time. And I decided to use my gold Posca pen for the play buttons. And I really like how that turned out. Then onto my weekly overviews. I decided to go with kind of the same format, like box-wise, for my days of the week, but I decided to, of course, decorate it differently. And here I am getting out the pads that I also use the vintage cutouts for. And when I think of vintage, I also think of kind of papers or textures that have been through a lot, and that's why I decided to tear my paper up to kind of get that vintage look. And it also makes it look a lot more playful, which I really like. And I really wanted the decorations to frame kind of the days of the week. And after I laid out everything where I wanted it to be laid out, it's time to glue it all on. And then I decided to write the days of the week. And this is the first week. On to the next one. And for the next few weeks, I of course did kind of the same process, and I decided to go with kind of a different theme for each week. The first week was kind of a letter theme, and this week is kind of with a sweet and candy theme. And I kind of wanted every week to be different in a way, so it wouldn't get redundant. And if you were wondering what kind of hand lettering font I kind of used as a guideline, I always do this. I use a font from thefont.com as kind of a guideline to recreate, because I'm not very good at freehanding hand lettering. The font that I used is called Christmas Mint, and I thought that it was very flowy and pretty and suitable for this vintage kind of look that I was going for. And this is the week of Christmas that I'm doing, and I really loved kind of the wool pattern on the background. I really like the look of this textured paper. And I wanted the Christmas letters to kind of do the work in this week. And that's this week. On to the final week. And this week only has 5 days, because January 1st starts on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So this spread is a bit more empty, but I still really like how it looks. And I also thought that the detail of the 2 corks, like popping a champagne bottle open, was very cute and a cute detail. And also, this corner punch has been a lifesaver for me. It's so much easier than having to cut the corners with scissors yourself. Then it's time to clear my desk a bit because it's a big mess. And this is the final result. I feel like my habit tracker was very simple and I really like how that looks. I absolutely love the monthly overview. I mean, is it necessary? No, but it's so cute and such a cool idea in my opinion. So I really like how these little doors look. It may not be very practical, but it's just so cool to look at. And then I can't wait to fill up my playlist for one last time for this bullet journal. And I also really am satisfied with the way that my weekly spreads look. I like that they all are different in their own way. And I really like the compositions of the decorations. And it's just, I feel like they're a lot of fun to look at. But I still manage to make them practical, or at least for me, practical. And that is the last weekly spread. And that is it for this bullet journal. It's really weird. I only have like 3 pages left. But yeah, that's it. And I hope you like this video. Stay hydrated, stay tuned, and until my next video. Bye!